January 20th. 1265. The Earl of Leicester, having defeated Henry III, summoned a new parliament, in which the Commons were first represented. 1546. Frederick, elector palatine, established without any acts of violence, the Protestant religion. 1662. 3 women condemned at Hartford, Connecticut, as witches, one of whom was hanged. 1706. Humphrey Hody died, an eminent English writer. A dissertation on the resurrection of the body asserted is one of his most useful works. 1745. Charles VII of Germany died at Munich, aged 48. 1764. Mr. Wilkes was expelled from the British House of Commons for writing the North Briton No. 45. This famed individual was subsequently outlawed, disregarded. His outlawry was 3 times elected for Middlesex, and his election as often voted void by the Commons, though returned by large majorities. 1770. Lord Chancellor Yorke committed suicide in the 48th year of his age. He was a distinguished English politician, and his death is ascribed to remorse for neglecting the promise he had made to his brother to accept of no office from court. 1776. Gen Schuyler disarmed the Highlanders at Johnstown, New York, and took 6 hostages. 1777. Gen Dickinson, with 400 militia and 50 Pennsylvania riflemen, defeated a British foraging party, took 9 prisoners, 100 horses, 40 wagons and a number of cattle. 1779. Benedict Arnold condemned to be reprimanded by the Commander-in-Chief, for misdemeanor at Philadelphia. 1779. David Garrick, the actor, died. He formed a new era in the English stage, a reform both in the conduct and license of the drama, which was honorable to the genius that had the power to effect it. 1781. A revolt of 160 of the Jersey line at Morristown. It was suppressed and 2 of the ringleaders executed. 1783. The independence of the United States acknowledged by Great Britain. 1788. George Joachim Zollicoffer, a Swiss divine, died. He was born 1730, and became one of the most eminent preachers of the last century. His sermons have been published in 15 volumes. 1788. Australia first colonized, nearly 3 centuries after the discovery of the Ladrones by Magellan, which constitute a part of it. Governor Phillip arrived with a number of convicts from England, and established a colony at Port Jackson in preference to Botany Bay. 1790. John Howard, the philanthropist, died at Cherson in Russia, aged 63. He had taken up his residence at this settlement on the Baltic Sea. A malignant fever prevailing there, he was prompted by humanity to visit a patient laboring under the contagion, when he received the infection, and died in consequence. 1790. Lafayette, in the Assembly of the States General, supported the motion for the abolition of titles of nobility, from which period he renounced his own, and never afterwards resumed it. 1795. The French under Pichegru entered Amsterdam, and Geertruidenberg capitulated to Jean Bonneau. 1795. A great fire occurred at Bergen in Norway, when 60 houses and a great many stores were burned. 1796. Pichegru attacked Kaiserslautern, but was repulsed with the loss of 2,000 men and several cannon. Austrian loss about 700 killed and wounded. 1798. The frigate Crescent sailed from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, as a present from the United States to the Dey of Algiers. She also carried out presents to the amount of $300,000. 1800. Thomas Mifflin, an officer of the Revolution, died. He was a member of the First Congress, and for many years governor of Pennsylvania. 1813. Christopher Martin Wieland, a German author of great repute, died aged 80. He was the father of 14 children, and 42 quarto volumes of books by the sale of which last he was enabled to purchase an estate. He was knighted by Alexander of Russia, and by Napoleon. 1817. The weather had been so moderate that up to this time no ice had been seen on the Delaware at Philadelphia. 1817. James Anthony, of Hanover County, Virginia, died, aged 104. 1823. The British government received advice that a Bengali newspaper had been issued, edited by a learned Hindu. Its title was Sungbankaumudi, or the Moon of Intelligence. 1835. The city of Mocha taken by the Egyptians under Akhmet Pasha, by which the whole of Arabia was rendered subject to Muhammad Ali, Pasha of Egypt. 1836. Xavier Saubert, the celebrated fire king, being engaged in making some experiments in chemistry, with phosphoric ether, it exploded and scattered his body into 1,000 pieces. 1836. Treaty of Peace and Commerce signed between the United States and the Republic of Venezuela. 1839. The Army of the Confederation of Bolivia and Peru, commanded by Santa Cruz in person, was entirely defeated and destroyed at Yungay, with a loss of 2,600 killed and 3,400 prisoners. Santa Cruz immediately resigned his office. 1843. A report fully approving of the conduct of Mackenzie and his officers on board the United States brig of war Somers, was brought in by the court appointed for that purpose. 1848. Christian VIII, King of Denmark, died in the 62nd year of his age and 9th of his reign. A constitution was offered the same day by his successor. 1854. A tornado in Ohio half a mile in width demolished everything it encountered, and almost entirely destroyed the town of Brandon. This day in the calendar of Hesiod is most propitious for the birth of men.